Hello and welcome to MOJO Story. I'm joined by Subash, the lawyer of Nimisha Priya, who's facing a grim fate in Yemen. She has been awarded a death penalty, and the president of that country has given a nod to that death sentence. He has upheld the death sentence. Subhashji, what is your first response to this new development?
See, actually, Nimisha is a victim of war. She is a victim of the civil war which happened in Yemen because she was convicted for the death sentence by the trial court in 2017. When her trial was during this civil war when this happened in Yemen. So she didn't get a proper legal defense there. She was not having a defense lawyer there and she didn't get a proper legal defense. She was forced to sign many confessional documents which is in Arabic language. There was no interpreters, no these documents were not verified by anybody. So she was compelled to sign many documents, confessional documents, and which led to her capital punishment awarded by the trial court. And this was upheld by the first appellate court and the Supreme Judicial Council. And now the president of Yemen has given the formal approval for the execution. So this is one part, the judicial part, the legal procedure. So other part is the Sharia law prevails in Yemen. So she is sentenced under the Sharia law, and there is a provision in Sharia law for the blood money. So if the victim's family is ready to accept the blood money and pardon her, her life will be saved. So now we are trying to explore that option. But unfortunately, since 2016, there is a travel ban in Yemen. So we cannot, it's not like any other GCC country. If this would have been in any other GCC country, we can travel there, we could have get the help from the Indian diaspora there or the prominent Indian business persons or some other activists. But in Yemen, there is no Indian diaspora. Even the Indian embassy is operating from the neighboring country. So we are unable to reach out to the victim's family for the blood money negotiation. So we are requesting the government of India. We are urging the Ministry of External Affairs to bring the victim's family to the negotiation table, so we can negotiate with the family. And the same Nimisha Priya International Action Council, we assure that we are ready to pay the entire amount, the blood money which is demanded by the victim's family. We don't we don't want any penny from the government of India, from government etc. We are ready to raise the fund as from the public. But we need to bring this. We need the help of the Ministry of External Affairs to bring the victim's family to the negotiation table.
Right. So what you are saying is that all the legal options have been exhausted. Now that the president has given the approval, now you are looking at the route of blood money, and you say that the family is ready to pay the blood money, provided there is a negotiation between the two parties, and you want the government of India to facilitate that negotiation, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because the prevailing situation in Yemen, that is not favorable for us. We are not unable to travel there. There is no Indian diaspora to help us. So only the one agency who can help us, that is Indian government, the Ministry of External Affairs. And we are requesting the Ministry of External Affairs to bring them to the negotiation table, the victim's family, to reach out to the victim's family and bring them to the negotiation table. So we will negotiate with them. We will pay the money. But as of now, we are unable to reach out to the victim's family for the blood money negotiation.
The Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson has, in fact, issued a statement, and it says that we understand the family of Priya is exploring relevant options. The government is extending all possible help in the matter. So the government has indicated that they are helping in whatever way possible. Are you satisfied with the government response?
Actually, we are a bit worried because our previous experience is bitter. Actually, when Nimisha's mother was supposed to travel to Yemen to meet her daughter and to meet the victim's family for the blood money negotiation, the government was adamant. They did not even grant the travel permission for Nimisha's mother. Then we had to file a petition before the Delhi High Court. I filed a petition before Delhi High Court, and with the direction of the Delhi High Court only, we got the permission from the Ministry of External Affairs. And with the direction of the court, Delhi High Court only, the ministry or the embassy appointed a lawyer, a local lawyer for Nimisha to conduct her matter in the first appellate court and the Supreme Judicial Council. So every time the government expressed their willingness, but it didn't work in a proper manner. So every time we had to rush to the court for getting an order from there. So now we welcome the stand of MEA. We are welcoming. We are hopefully watching the MEA's intervention. But now the time frame is very limited. So we are humbly requesting the government to do these negotiations immediately, and we are ready to pay the amount, that money amount.
So you said the time frame is very limited. What is the time frame after the president's approval?
See, actually, we came to know from the news, from Sana, and many international media and the other media reported that actually we didn't get a proper communication, a formal communication from either from the Yemen government or from the embassy. We means the Nimisha Priya International Action Council or the family of Nimisha Priya have not received any formal communication yet. But we came to know that normally the 30 days period is there after the period, but it can be extended. That's up to the Yemeni government. But normally the 30 days limitation is there after approval of the president of Yemen.
So what you're saying that there is a window of 30 days after this president's approval. And how is the family dealing with the crisis? The family of Nimisha, they must be going from pillar to post all these years, trying their level best. And now this latest news that has come from Yemen, how are they dealing with this crisis?
See, actually, we approached the Delhi High Court, and Delhi High Court granted the permission in April. So Nimisha's mother went to Yemen to meet her daughter in there, and she stayed there in the last 9 months. She's staying there, and she's hopefully staying there to meet the victim's family and have the negotiation with them. But unfortunately, we didn't get a proper channel to discuss with the victim's family. So some the lawyer who is appointed by the Ministry of External Affairs, he was initially offering that he would be discussing with the tribal leaders, and for that we have already paid 40,000 USD to the lawyer through the Indian embassy. He demanded 40,000 USD as pre-negotiation amount, which is already been paid by the Nimisha Priya International Action Council in 2 installments. Still, we didn't get any relief, or we could not reach to the victim's family. So now only the option. Nimisha's mother is still staying there in Yemen, and her husband is in Kerala. He's an auto driver. So they have belongs to a very poor family, and this Nimisha Priya Action Council is taking care of the family, her travel, her accommodation there, and we are offering the blood money also. We will be raising it as a mass fund from the public. So then we will be paying it. So we are ready. The activists included in the Nimisha Priya International Action Council are from the different countries like UK, USA, and the other parts of GCC, and the lawyers and the human rights activists also there. So we are hopeful that we can raise the fund, but we need a support from the government for the negotiation.
So what you are telling us is that the mother is there in Yemen, the husband is in India, in Kerala. He's an auto driver, and she's trying to negotiate with the other party there for the blood money, her mother.
Yes, but she is awaiting for the negotiations there, because she knows only Malayalam. She cannot even speak English or Hindi. So she needs some support, and she is there because any of the very close family members have to be there for the blood money negotiation. So she offered her willing. She was willing, and we sent her to Yemen by getting an order from the Delhi High Court. And now in the last 9 months, she's staying there in Yemen for this process, blood money negotiation. But we couldn't make it in the last 8-9 months.
So has a contact been established with the other party?
No, that is the difficulty, because they live in a very remote area, and the political situation in Yemen is not very favorable for us for traveling and reaching out to the victim's family. So we can do through the administration, through the government support only. So she is saying, and the lawyer informed us he was in touch with the tribal leaders, but we did not know what is the update. What happened? We paid the amount. We paid 40,000 US dollars. That's around 37, 38 lakh Indian rupees in two installments. But we didn't get any update. What was the discussion? What was the update after the discussion with the tribal leaders? We paid the amount and we didn't get any relief. So now again, anyway, we are ready to bear the expenses. We are ready to pay the blood money, whatever is demanded by the family. But we need to reach out to the family. With that, we couldn't make it yet.
Right. And also, there are reports that an Iranian official has offered assistance on humanitarian ground to Nimisha.
Yeah, that I have seen in the news of today. That would be very interesting and the best way, because Iran has a very good relation with the India as well as the Yemeni, the rebel means government in there, in Houthi group in there. So if the Iran plays a key role, if the Iran is ready to negotiate or discuss with the Houthis in Yemen for the release of Nimisha, that we are looking that in a very hopeful manner, and that would be the best way.
Right. And lastly, can you give us some context of the case? What all happened? When did it start? And how did all those developments take place up till now?
See, actually, Nimisha is a trained nurse. She's a nursing graduate who went to Yemen for her livelihood. She belongs to a very poor family from Kerala. So, like many other Indian nurses, she went to Yemen in 2012. And thereafter, she got married with an Indian, with Kerala guy, who is her husband, Mr. Tommy. And both of them went to Yemen, and she was working in a hospital there. At that time, Nimisha and her husband planned to start a clinic, a local clinic there, for which they need a sponsor, a local support. According to Yemeni law, a local sponsor is required. And they met the deceased Mr. Abdul Mahdi there, and he was ready to offer this sponsorship. Then thereafter, they came to in Kerala for the baptism of their child. One minor child is there. So, and Nimisha and Mr. Talal Mahdi, they returned to Yemen, and Nimisha's husband and daughter was supposed to go. And that time, the civil war broke out in Yemen, and the flights were cancelled, and the travel ban was put upon. So, the husband and child could not reach there, and she was alone in Yemen. And slowly, Mr. Mahdi, unfortunately, he was a drug abuser, and slowly his character, his approach changes, and he started means exploiting her financially as well as physically. We were informed, and then she wanted to her passport was confiscated by this deceased person. So she wanted to get her passport and run away from there. And for that, she tried to sedate him. And since he was a drug abuser, the first dose didn't work, and she has given a second dose, and which went to a means overdose, and unfortunately he passed away. So this and thereafter she took her passport and she ran away from there. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, she was arrested in the other part of Yemen. And at that time, it came to know that I spoke to her personally. So she said, yeah, I sedate him. But when she was arrested, there was another charge against her, that was mutilating his body. Like his body was cut into 110 pieces and put into a water tank, which is not done by her. She told me I didn't do that. Unfortunately, this the death or the overdose, that was happened in my from my hand, but I didn't do that. So anyway, we don't want to go to the we don't want to postmortem to that incident. So this is the incident, and thereafter she was arrested by the Yemeni police, and she was trialed by the Yemeni court. And at that time, that was the time of during the civil war, and she didn't get a proper legal defense there. She didn't get a lawyer, and she had to sign many papers, the confessional documents in the Arabic language. So this all led to her capital punishment, and the first appellate court also upheld the capital punishment, but it opened the option of blood money.
Right. Subhaji, thanks so much for joining with Mojo Story and sharing your thoughts. I will, of course, keep a close track on this story. Thanks for joining.